Hey there, guys and gals out there in YouTube world. Hopefully this finds you doing well. It is Tuesday, January the 4th in 2022. So as I said, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we are firmly entrenched in the year 2022. So enjoy every day as it gets here, because life can be short. So enjoy yourself, cherish your memories, but do always plan for the future, because for most of us, the future is coming. And odds are, most of us here will live a long, healthy life. Okay? So you want to be financially set in the future. You don't want to be like so many Americans and be, in quotes, retired and having to work in Walmart or McDonald's or someplace. It's not bad to have to work those jobs, but if you look at most of these individuals, most of them seem like they're not that happy. So why not set yourself up to have a better financial future? Okay? And that's the goal of my channel. As I've said so many times, I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I am not a financial advisor. Okay? But I'm just mazske. I started investing when I was 22 years old in mutual funds. I didn't know what I was doing. By the time I was 30-ish, I found the Motley Fool. I've talked about the Motley Fool different times. And I started investing in individual stocks. And then at the age of 49, not 29, not 19, at the age of 49, I bought my first rental house. Okay? When I bought that rental house, I talked to some of my coworkers who told me I was crazy. And I worked in a police department. And they said, what in the world are you getting a rental house for? Tenants will destroy it. Because as cops, we go inside a lot of the worst places, apartments, houses, because that's where the crime happens a lot of times, not always. Because as a cop, you go in the nicest places too, and you go in all kinds of businesses, but you see the damage that some tenants will do to properties. Okay, so I didn't talk a lot to my coworkers about what I was doing, because in the back of my mind, I was like, what if they're right? But I knew they weren't. And that was in January 2017. I bought my first rental house, and yes, I did have to evict my very first tenant because I did not know what I was doing. All right, but then by December, I found my second rental house and I bought that. And then by January, I had good tenants in there. And then when I retired in April of 2018, in May of 2018, I bought a triplex. All right, so it was a dump because it was a slumlord that owned it. But I got it, it took me a little while. I got it cleaned up. I got it completely renovated inside and out. And I bought it for like $199,000 in 2018. And I put about $60,000 into it. And then I sold it just last week for $336,000. Okay. I could have sold it probably for more than that, but my tenant bought it. You met my tenant. He was my first interview, Robbie. And I wasn't going to jack the price up on him. He's a good guy. He's going to do well with it. All right. So keep that in mind. In society right now, you have different places that are jacking the price up when they don't need to jack it up. So you have different landlords that might be jacking rents up when they don't need to jack them up quite as much. So just be aware, okay? But the point of this is, it was in 2018, very end of May, it was May 31st. So by June of 2018, I had 5 rental units, 2 single family homes and a triplex with 5 rental units. Fast forward to December of 2020, and I had 25 rental units. Okay. Fast forward from December 2020 to March of 2021, and I had moved without selling my primary residence. I bought this house in Southwest Florida with a swimming pool on the water for over $500,000. Okay. This house, according to my real estate agent, is now worth over $750,000, and he thinks sometime this year, it may be worth $1 million. Okay? I'm not bragging about this. The point of this is, if I can do it, you can do it. If you're not yet 49, you're ahead of me. Okay? You're ahead of me. So if you're not yet 49 and you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s or you're in your 40s, have you bought your first rental property? If you have, good for you. You have gotten started. Maybe you're like Lieutenant Bill, the young man who's helped me to get started in crypto. He's going to interview on my channel sometime in the next day, 2 or 3, and he'll tell you about his story, so I won't share it with you. It might be like my young tenant Robbie, who interviewed last week, I think it was. He's 28 years old. He just bought his first triplex. I also interviewed a high school teacher, Dominic. Dominic's up in the Windy City of Chicago, a high school teacher. What do we always hear in the media? Teachers don't make a lot, just like cops don't make a lot. Dominic now has 53 rental units as a high school teacher, and he's 51 years old, I think. He's a couple years younger than I am. All right. And then I also interviewed Millennial Mike. Millennial Mike is a state trooper out on the West Coast. Mike and I are friends. He's going to come visit me, hopefully sometime soon. And Mike is, I think, 32 years old, 32, 33, somewhere around there. He's a single dad. All right. Keep that in mind. He's not in a partnership with two people married making double paychecks. He's a single father, sole custody of his son. He now has, what did he say? 8 rental units, I think it is. All right. And on and on and on. There's more people that you will hear from that started at different ages of life. You will meet eventually, perhaps my oldest son. He might appear in this channel. I got him started investing when he was like 19 years old. He's trying to buy his 5th rental property. His net worth is $500,000 and he's 28 years old. My younger son is 24. We're looking for a house for him. He's going to get his first rental property. Because as I've said so many times, I can share stories about how to invest in stocks. And the easiest way to do it is go to the Motley Fool, fool.com. And they will hold your hand and walk you through how to buy individual stocks, quality companies. And there's so many different ways to buy stocks, so many different ways. Buy and hold long term was my game. I had returns of 1,400%, 1,500%, 1,600%. Okay, that's over the long term. All right, so that's a possibility. As so many young people are doing, you can buy crypto now. I have open crypto positions, and they seem to be doing well, but the prices keep dropping for the most part. But I'm used to prices dropping. But they keep accumulating rewards every 8 hours or so. They're accumulating rewards. One of them, my strong block node, every 90 seconds or so, it's calculating rewards. All right, so it's building up. That's my cup of mud water. All right, so anyway, with crypto's fun. I would not myself put a large percentage of my portfolio into crypto. It's too volatile. It's still too risky. I don't want to lose what I've put in there so far, but it's a little bit. It's just a small percentage of my portfolio. Okay. But now with real estate, I think almost every interview I've done so far, I forgot to mention Helicopter Pilot Caleb. That was just yesterday. I think he said it at the end. The average person, if they want to, can start house hacking. All right, if you don't know what I mean, watch the interview with Helicopter Pilot Caleb. It's a good interview. If you start house hacking, you buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, and you live in one unit, and you have tenants in the other units are paying you rent, which will pay your mortgage for you. So now, not only do you live for free, you don't have to pay rent or a mortgage, you are getting other people to pay your mortgage for you and to pay your insurance and to pay your taxes and to pay money for repairs, and you're perchance putting some extra cash in your pocket. All right, I'm chewing on something, that's why my mouth's moving like that. Sorry, but do you understand the joy of this? Robbie, my tenant, he just bought this building, so I assume by now he's gotten one of his January checks. The other one, the tenant still owes me December rent, and then he'll pay January rent to Robbie. And then Robbie will be on track with getting 2 checks, hopefully every single month, which will more than cover his mortgage, his taxes, insurance, and his expenses. That's the game plan. All right, but real estate is so easy to buy, okay? The majority of adults own a single family home. All they have to do is repeat the process to buy another one. Or if they're young and they're looking to buy their first one, buy a duplex, buy a triplex, buy a quadplex. Or instead of buying that new SUV, I just emailed earlier today the new police chief in the police department where I used to work at. I know him, he's a good guy. And I asked him permission if he'll share my channel. Whoa, doggy, I bumped my stand. I asked him if he would share my channel amongst the police department. I don't know if he'll say yes or no, but cops are like teachers. Very few cops, very few teachers invest. And then when they retire, they keep on working. So many retired teachers go back to teach. Do they just love helping people? Sure. but most of them are doing it because they need the money. Cops retire and they go to a different department and start over again. Why? Because they need the money. Okay? I'm here to tell you, I'm sitting in sunny Southwest Florida. It was chilly this morning. It was like 62 degrees or 59 degrees or whatever it was. All right? I was still wearing shorts and a button-down short sleeve shirt. Not this one's my house shirt, but I had a nicer shirt because I had to run some errands this morning. It's now 70 degrees and sunny. I'll go swimming later this afternoon. I may take my kayak out. Probably not today, but soon I'll take my kayak out. All right. I'm also getting my bushes and trees cut down on Friday. Talked to the gentleman this morning. Stopped by my house. That'll be $1,700, $1,800, which means another week or two after that, I'm getting a fence installed. That's another $7,000, $8,000. And then another month or two after that, I'm getting my dock down there tore out. I'm getting a new dock and a new 12 by 12 with a tiki hut. That's like $18,000. And I got to pay an electrician. That's another $1,000 or $2,000. So what I'm saying is I'm spending about $30,000 over the next couple weeks just to do some improvements. Why am I telling you this? Because if I can do it, you can do it. And you might be thinking, well, Mazske, I had to do some work to my house the other year and it cost me $20,000. Yes, you probably did, because all homeowners have to do work to their house over time. But what I'm doing is I'll be just stroking some checks to pay the bills. I'll probably use credit cards. Actually, I'll get credit card points then. And then there'll be more projects and I'll have the cash to pay. I saw on Instagram last night your first million. I think I put a link to something of his in one of my other videos. He had something on Instagram where his wife was involved in a multi-car accident and their Subaru got totaled. His wife and children were in there, but they were not hurt, which was good. But he said the guilty driver, he talked to that insurance company for the guilty driver and they said, we'll pay you. We got to do our investigation, but you're looking at least a month or two to get the money. And then he said something like the Subaru might get $20,000. But he said then that with the car crisis right now, you can't find quality used cars. There's a shortage. You can find them, but there's a shortage. So he said his wife then didn't want to overpay for a used car, so she went out and got a 2022 Volkswagen, I forget the model. And he said it was $40,000. And he said the cool thing was he wrote a check to pay for it. Why? He's a police officer. Your first million. I forget what city he's in, but he's a police officer. And he wrote a check to pay for it. Why? Because he invests in rental properties. All right, so the point of all this, I say it over and over and over again. If I can do it, so can you. If Millennial Mike can do it, so can you. If helicopter pilot Caleb can do it, so can you. If high school teacher Dominic can do it, so can you. If Robbie, a small business owner, can do it, so can you. All right, stop making excuses. It's the same excuses. Lack of time, lack of money. BS. It's excuses. We all get 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we all earn a paycheck. Sure, some of us earn more than others, but no matter how much we earn, I've shown you this example before, if you make this much, spend less than you make and invest that difference. Spend, no matter how much you make, I'll repeat that, no matter how much you make, spend less than you make and invest the difference. And you will have a better financial future. Okay? All right. That's enough for today. Mazske is signing out. Stay safe, everyone. Talk to you later.